In the world of MotoGP, Marc Marquez has always been portrayed as the man who could win on any bike. His fearless style, natural talent, and dramatic victories have built a legend that fans and media repeat endlessly: give Marquez any machine, and he will win. But Aprilia Racing CEO, Massimo Rivola, is not buying into that story. In a recent interview with journalists, Rivola made a bold statement that shook the paddock. "I don't think Marc Marquez can become world champion with Aprilia," Rivola said confidently. "I would even bet on it. In my experience, only a few Spanish riders are truly able to develop a bike. And Marc is not one of them." The words carried weight, not just because of who said them, but because they touched a nerve in MotoGP's current narrative. Rivola openly questioned the myth that Marquez is a rider capable of winning no matter what bike he rides. With a calm smile, Rivola continued his sharp commentary: "Have people forgotten Honda used to dominate? But when Dani Pedrosa retired, the responsibility of development fell to Marc. And what happened? Honda fell behind. So when I hear people say Marc could win with any bike, I call it nonsense, just hype created by the media and his fans." The statement struck hard. For years, Marquez was celebrated as the man carrying Honda on his shoulders. Even when the bike was unstable, he managed to push it to victory. But Rivola's point was clear: Marquez's wins may have been extraordinary, yet they did not translate into a better machine for the future. Honda, once untouchable, is now struggling at the back. This is where Rivola's philosophy comes into play. Under his leadership, Aprilia has been focused on team growth, long-term technical development, and collective progress, not on depending on a single superstar. His words reflect a deeper belief: MotoGP championships are not won by riders alone, but by synergy between engineers, mechanics, and riders who can guide development. The emotional edge in Rivola's comments cannot be ignored. He smiled as he delivered his critique, but behind that smile was a direct challenge to the cult of personality surrounding Marquez. In essence, he was saying, skill alone is not enough. Without the ability to evolve the machine, even the most talented rider will hit a wall. Fans, of course, will disagree. To millions, Marquez remains a phenomenon, an 8-time world champion, a fighter who redefines the limits of the sport. Yet Rivola's words bring balance to the debate. They remind everyone that MotoGP is not only about heroics on Sundays, but also about invisible work in factories, wind tunnels, and endless test sessions. Whether or not one agrees with him, Rivola's statement ensures one thing: the conversation about Marquez, Aprilia, and the future of MotoGP will only get louder. Marc Marquez and the Ducati GP25, a season of total domination. The 2025 MotoGP season will be remembered as one of the most extraordinary campaigns in modern racing history. At the center of it all stands Marc Marquez, who, in his very first year as a Ducati factory rider, has rewritten the script of domination. After the crucial test at Aragon, Ducati's GP25 transformed into a war machine: fast, stable, and nearly unbeatable. This weekend, MotoGP returns to Barcelona before moving to Misano Adriatico, Ducati's home Grand Prix. Remarkably, Marquez already has the mathematical chance to secure the World Championship title at San Marino, far earlier than anyone expected. For Marquez and Borgo Panigale, this year has been nothing short of perfection. Despite leading the standings by an enormous margin, Marquez has never slowed down. Just a few days ago, instead of resting, he trained on dirt tracks in Alcaraz, 80 kilometers from his hometown Cervera. Riding Ducati's modified Desmo 450 MX for flat track, he was joined by his brother Alex, and two rising stars, David Alonso, the 19-year-old Colombian talent from Aspar team, and Brazil's Diogo Moreira, who is set to make his MotoGP debut in 2026 with Lucio Sacinello's LCR Honda squad. Beyond competition, this gathering showed Marquez's passion for both racing and mentoring the next generation. Yet when it comes to the MotoGP grid, 2025 has been his stage alone. After a double victory at Balaton Park, his seventh consecutive win, Marquez openly reflected on his dominance. With a massive lead of 175 points, his only true rival now seems to be himself. "I don't care who is in front between me and the checkered flag," said Marquez with absolute focus. "In the first part of the season, I fought mostly against Alex and Pecco Bagnaia. We were constantly finishing first and second, even though a few mistakes cost us important points. Those mistakes refer to the crash at Austin, where Bagnaia claimed victory, and the race at Jerez, where Alex Marquez took the win. But apart from these rare incidents, Marc has been untouchable." As the season progressed, new challengers appeared: Marco Bezzecchi on Aprilia and Pedro Acosta on KTM. Still, they remain far behind. In sprint races, Marquez's dominance is staggering. Out of 14 sprints, he has won 13 and finished on the podium in the other. "Normal even in my wildest dreams, this is not normal. My dream was to fight for the championship, to get closer to the best, and to fight until the end. But this season is beyond anything I expected," he admitted. This streak reminds him of the golden year 2019, when he almost always finished first or second. "That year was special. I was always in front, with rivals changing from race to race. Sometimes I lost, but consistency was the key to the championship," Marquez recalled. The secret behind his 2025 dominance is not just talent, but relentless work and Ducati's evolution. "The Aragon test proved decisive. Yes, we improved the setup after Aragon. The new aerodynamics are much more effective, and the bike's geometry is now aligned with the other Ducati riders. Early in the season, the GP25 felt wild, unpredictable. But now, it's far easier to handle," said the 93 rider. Marquez's words echo a truth many feared: when pure talent meets engineering excellence, the result is complete supremacy. The GP25 is the perfect machine, and Marc Marquez has brought it to life with brilliance. The story of 2025 may already be written. This is the year Marquez and Ducati crushed the competition, leaving rivals chasing shadows. Dani Pedrosa as Marc Marquez shines again in Hungary. The MotoGP Hungarian Grand Prix 2025 at Balaton Park turned into yet another stage of brilliance for Marc Marquez. The Ducati star delivered a masterclass performance that not only secured him a double victory over the weekend after already winning the sprint race, but also reminded the world why he remains one of the most formidable riders in the history of the sport. Yet, this was no easy ride. Starting from pole, Marquez was immediately challenged when he clashed with Aprilia Racing's Marco Bezzecchi in the opening laps. Contact forced Marquez down to third place, a moment that could have rattled any rider under pressure. But instead of panicking, the duel reached its turning point on lap 10, when Marquez executed a clean exactly how to win. Speaking after the race, Marquez praised his rival for putting up such resistance. "Everything went really well today," Marquez explained. "At turn 1, I saw Pizzecchi had room on the inside, so I let him go rather than risking a bigger incident. Honestly, I didn't expect him to hold on for that long, but I stayed patient, waited for my chance, and once I passed, I just focused on controlling the pace. It was a reflection of Marquez's strength. No longer just a fearless youngster who attacked every corner with raw aggression, he is a more mentally clean rider blending speed, intelligence, and maturity." One man who was visibly impressed was Dani Pedrosa. The former teammate of Marquez at Honda, now working as a commentator for DAZN, admitted he was lost for words after witnessing the performance. When it came time to ask the post-race questions, Pedrosa paused, smiled, and finally said, "Honestly, I don't know what else to ask." That simple statement carried weight. Pedrosa, himself a MotoGP legend, understood better than most just how difficult it is to remain calm and deliver under pressure. To see Marquez dismantle the challenge with such composure was, in his eyes, nothing short of extraordinary. For Ducati, the Hungarian GP was another golden chapter in their journey with Marquez. For the fans, it was another reminder that the baby alien still has plenty of magic left, and for Pedrosa, it was a moment of admiration for a man he once shared a garage with, now standing at the peak of his powers once again. At 32, Marc Marquez continues to define the race. Hungary was not just a victory, it was a message. As long as he is in the grid, no race is safe from his dominance. Dani Antonio's relentless pursuit ends in Marquez's masterclass at Hungarian sprint race. The Hungarian sprint race of MotoGP 2025 delivered not only raw speed but also a gripping story of resilience, determination, and undeniable brilliance. While Marc Marquez eventually emerged victorious, the spotlight moment of the race came when Fabio Di Giannantonio, the young Italian rider, launched a spirited pursuit that had the crowd on edge from start to finish. From the very first lap, Di Giannantonio's intentions were clear. He was not there simply to follow the pack, he wanted to challenge greatness itself. With sharp focus and relentless energy, the Italian rider tucked behind Marquez's rear wheel, refusing to let the 8-time world champion slip away easily. Every time Marquez accelerated out of a corner, Fabio matched him. Every time Marquez braked deep into a turn, Fabio pushed just a little harder. It was a duel of grit and skill, young ambition colliding with veteran mastery. But the closer Fabio came, the more he realized just how difficult the challenge was. Marquez, known for his unmatched ability to read a race like a chessboard, seemed to anticipate every move. Each time Di Giannantonio tried to set up an overtake, Marquez closed the door, cutting off the smallest window of opportunity. It was as if the Spaniard could sense the attack before it even began. The tension grew with each lap. Fans in the grandstands leaned forward, their eyes locked on the battle unfolding in front of them. At one point, Di Giannantonio nearly pulled alongside down the straight, the roar of Ducati engines echoing through Balaton Park. But Marquez responded instantly, braking impossibly late and reclaiming the line with razor-sharp precision. The move drew gasps from the audience, a reminder of why Marquez's racing instincts remain unmatched in the sport. Behind them, Franco Morbidelli rode with measured consistency, holding firm in third place. While he never truly entered the fight for the lead, his steady rhythm ensured he secured the final step of the podium. His performance was a testament to resilience, a rider who understood his limits yet maximized every ounce of potential to secure valuable points. The emotional core of the race, however, remained the duel between Marquez and Dani Antonio. For Fabio, it was a statement of intent. He may not have conquered Marquez this time, but his relentless chase proved that he belongs at the very front of MotoGP's most competitive field in years. His courage, his willingness to push his limits lap after lap, painted the picture of a rising star unafraid of battling legends. For Marquez, it was another chapter in a career defined by moments of supreme control. While many riders cracked under the pressure of Balaton Park's demanding corners and unpredictable grip, Marquez thrived. His defense against Dani Antonio was not reckless aggression, but calculated brilliance. He showed the world that experience, composure, and race intelligence remain his greatest weapons. As the checkered flag waved, Marquez crossed the line first, Dani Antonio just behind, and Morbidelli securing third. The podium reflected not only results, but stories of a champion reaffirming his dominance, of a challenger proving he is ready for more, and of a veteran quietly reminding everyone of his steady hand. The Hungarian sprint race will be remembered not just as a victory for Marquez, but as a symbol of MotoGP's thrilling unpredictability. It showcased how new talents are ready to rise, how legends still defend their thrones with pride, and how every lap can tell a story of courage, skill, and unshakable determination. Casey Stoner, Marc Marquez is a big problem for everyone, including Bagnaia. Former MotoGP world champion Casey Stoner has raised a strong statement about the current state of the championship, pointing directly at Marc Marquez as the biggest challenge every rider must face this season. Stoner believes that Marquez has reached a level of performance on the Ducati that no other rider has been able to match, not even Francesco Bagnaia, the reigning two-time world champion. Speaking to Sky Italia on Monday, Stoner emphasized that Marquez's presence has reshaped the dynamics of MotoGP. "I think at the moment Marc is creating the same problem for everyone in the paddock. It's not just about Pecco," Stoner said. "He has found a way to unlock the potential of the Ducati in a manner nobody else can replicate." For Stoner, Marquez's dominance is not merely an obstacle, it can also be an opportunity. He highlighted that being in the same garage as a rider of Marquez's caliber might push Bagnaia beyond his limits and help him grow as a competitor. "This could also be an advantage for Pecco," Stoner continued. "You always learn the most in your toughest moments. If he can absorb as much as possible this year, it may prove useful in the future." The numbers back up Stoner's claims. Marquez has been unstoppable in 2025, securing 9 victories out of the 13 main races so far, while also winning every single sprint race in the last 12 weekends. With a massive 142-point lead at the top of the standings, his grip on the championship looks unshakable. What makes the situation even more striking is that Marquez's closest challenger is not Bagnaia, but his younger brother, Alex Marquez. Riding for Gresini Racing with the Ducati GP24, Alex has emerged as the only consistent rival, still trailing far behind but ahead of Bagnaia in the standings. Bagnaia himself is 55 points adrift of Alex and has managed only a single win this season at the Circuit of the Americas Coda, a victory that came after Marc crashed while leading. For Bagnaia, who entered the 2025 season as the defending double world champion, expectations were sky high. Yet, the campaign has been a struggle. His early speed has faded, and after the summer break his results have dipped further. At the Red Bull Ring in Austria, a circuit where he once reigned supreme with 3 consecutive victories, he could only manage an 8th place finish, despite briefly holding 2nd place. Stoner insists that Bagnaia's talent should not be underestimated, but acknowledges the psychological weight of having Marquez in the same garage. The Spaniard's relentless pace and fearless style put constant pressure on Bagnaia, who now finds himself in unfamiliar territory, no longer Ducati's dominant figure. Pecco's performance is not entirely bad, Stoner explained. But when you have someone like Marc beside you, everything feels more complicated. It changes the atmosphere inside the team, and that pressure can eat away at your confidence. Still, Stoner remains optimistic that Bagnaia can recover. The Australian legend, who himself faced immense pressure during his career, believes resilience is the key. As long as you keep trying, as long as you don't give up, you will gain something, Stoner said with conviction. It may not come immediately, but those experiences build you. If Pecco keeps fighting, he can return stronger. For now, Marquez's dominance overshadows everyone else on the grid, and the question remains, will anyone be able to stop him this season? For Bagnaia, the answer may lie not in beating Marquez right away, but in enduring the storm, learning from it, and preparing for the battles yet to come.